Hey guys, how's it going? Back at you again with another movie review. For those of you in the US, I hope you're having a very happy Thanksgiving. Maybe this will be my one review of the day, or maybe there will be two, we'll have to see. But if not, we're definitely getting one tomorrow. But today I wanted to get on here and talk about a very special film, and that of course is Train Dreams, directed by Clint Bentley, starring Joel Edgerton and Felicity Jones. And this follows an early 20th century logger named Robert Grenier as he kind of goes about the Midwest building railroads, also building a house with his wonderful wife Gladys, played by Felicity Jones, and kind of how everything in his life informs not only just the future of the country, but also his personal life in ways that he may not have anticipated. And I've heard a lot of acclaim for this movie. I missed it at Sundance with the screeners and whatnot, and so I really was looking forward to this one because I also missed it at TIFF. So I got a chance to see this not just once, but twice in theaters, and I've been so busy, so I figured I'd just kind of wait till, eventually I got the chance to see it a second time before I reviewed it again, because there were some things I had to kind of come back and reassess when I saw it the second time. But yeah, I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't know how I missed this, because I knew it was a Netflix movie. I was like, I'll wait, but honestly, I didn't even watch this on Netflix, so if you have it playing in a theater near you, please go rush out and see this. Don't watch this on the small screen. This is quite easily the most immaculately shot movie of the entire year. Adolfo Veloso's cinematography is just so breathtaking in the way that he utilizes the space of the frame, the way he pans his subjects, the way he shoots silhouettes in such perfect symmetry, the way he rigs cameras to, falling logs on trees. I mean, it really is just so innovative and so beautiful. And I think one of the things that is so incredible is the emotional resonance of each shot in this movie. There's especially this one shot, like if you look at it in isolation, if you pull up a picture of it online, right, it's just pretty simple. It's just someone sitting in a forest. But in the way that he uses the camera and pulls it back, and especially within the context of the film, it is one of the most stunning shots of the entire year. And I just think that's why this movie is so effective with the visual language of cinema and how it portrays these events and how you can luxuriate in the mysticism of nature and what the beauty of this country has to offer in its most unbastardized form. I mean, it really is the most stunning work I've seen from a DP this entire year. And honestly, this might be a hot take, but I really do think that this movie is taking off like a rocket right now. I honestly think this could win cinematography at the Oscars. Like, if there's enough support around this movie, this could be like a Days of Heaven type situation, which is probably the most apt comparison I would throw at Train Dreams. This is very Malick in a sense. It's a very slow moving but very inviting and nurturing and just all enveloping narrative that just has you so quickly yet quietly wrapped up in its beauty in every single frame. I just absolutely love everything about the film from a visual standpoint, and that's why I do think that this certainly could win cinematography if it does get picked up by all the guilds with the nominations and stuff. But this is really some of the best work you're going to see this entire year, and honestly, in my opinion, it's not going to happen, but Clint Bentley deserves a Best Director nomination. His collaborations with Greg Quadar, specifically Sing Sing from last year, which I also loved, but I think that this one is just on a whole other level. From a writing standpoint, from a directorial standpoint, this is some of the most stunning filmmaking you will see in any movie in 2025, and I absolutely think that many people have been responding to that now that it has reached Netflix and theaters and all that, and so many people are getting eyes on this film. It really is something truly beautiful to behold, and we haven't even gotten into the meat and potatoes of the story yet, or the acting for that matter, because Joel Edgerton as Robert Grenier is really fantastic here. Definitely a very subtle performance, but he carries so much weight on his face, and you really empathize with this guy all the way through, seeing him build this beautiful life. It just lulls you in with such a calming presence, but also this movie's really funny in ways that I wasn't expecting. I just kind of figured, oh, we're going to have this very contemplative narrative where this guy moves about his life, which it is that, but it definitely has a lot of levity to it that I really think is very welcome and keeps you latched in, just because the interactions that he has with everybody around him just feel so genuine and just so unbelievably revealing in the smallest of ways, especially the relationship he has with his wife Gladys, played by Felicity Jones here, who I think is a perfect match. And to think that he was originally going to play Laszlo Toth in The Brutalist. It's kind of funny how that lines up there. But I just think their chemistry is terrific, and all the scenes they have together really are the heart of the movie in a lot of ways. But really, I think the character who leaves the most lasting of impressions over this entire narrative is honestly William H. Macy's Arn Peebles, who is one of the loggers who shows up on one of the trips that Robert takes out to, support his family. And I didn't even recognize him the first few moments he showed up on screen. That's how transformative a performance this is for Macy. But this ranks up there with one of his absolute finest performances of his career, maybe after Fargo. Like, I really do think that he deserves a Best Supporting Actor nomination for this, because he comes into the movie and he's like, this really kind of funny, kooky sort of guy. But then as he starts talking, he reveals so much wisdom, and a lot, I'd say, of the thematic weight of this film kind of lies within the character of Arn Peebles, and he is just absolutely astounding here. I really think that it's a small and quiet performance that really takes a hold of this entire story and what is trying to convey. I think he is brilliant here, and I think he really could sneak in that fifth slot and get a surprise Oscar nomination when it comes to, Oscar nominations morning. I really do think we could see him there, and he'd absolutely deserve it. And so many other great character actors show up here and there to kind of parcel out this band of characters that Robert meets along his journey, especially Carrie Condon, who has some scenes in the movie, and she's great as always, and I really like the dynamic between her and Joel Edgerton. But I think what's so impressive about this movie from a narrative standpoint is the narration told by Will Patton here. I think that it is just so insightful and just so articulately written. It really feels like this is what a narration should be. I think it adds to the film as opposed to detract, especially the musings of how, this country that is being transformed by these men, in a sense, forgets who they are, even though they were so integral to the development of what this country is today. And I think that's the beautiful thing about Train Dreams, is how important so many of these people are, but yet we never hear of them again. And how these men who were so integral to the development of this ever rapidly changing landscape are quickly starting not to recognize it. Especially Robert, who is a guy who feels like his past is constantly following him in premonitious ways that he doesn't really understand, and kind of how that ties into Robert's own personal journey as well, kind of appreciating the little things in life before they go by the wayside, and what that means to him by the end of the story. It really is just so thought-provoking in so many ways, and as you can tell, I absolutely love this movie. The only thing I think holding it back for me is once you get to the second half, because I'd say the first half of this movie is top 3 movies of the year. I seriously believe that. But I do think it slows down a little bit. It isn't unfocused per se, but it does definitely start to repeat some ongoing motifs and just feels like a little bit padded out, because it is a slow movie, but it's a very captivating one at that, and that's what it should be. I wouldn't expect them to necessarily change anything about the pace, because this is almost a perfectly paced movie. But I think there's some things that they could have cut out just to shave a few minutes off the runtime and make the narrative a bit tighter. But overall, this is an absolute must-see. Everyone should check this out if they get a chance. And like I said, if you have a chance to see it in theaters, please do so, because this has to be one of the top 15 movies of the year without question. And I can't say enough good things about Train Dreams, and that's why I'm going to give it a very, very solid 9 out of 10. I really want to hear what people think about this, because I keep seeing the love for this movie continue to grow and grow, and I really do think, if I may say so a bit early, I know Frankenstein is absolutely Netflix's #1 horse in this award season race, but I think Train Dreams might just get nominated for Best Picture. I think it's going to get an adapted screenplay nomination. I think it's going to get nominated for cinematography and possibly win. And I also think the Bryce Dessner score is absolutely incredible, so majestic in its own sense, and I really, really loved that throughout the entire film. And like I said, William H. Macy, he could definitely sneak in there for a Best Supporting Actor nomination. So I really want to see what kind of attention this movie gets over the next few months, because I really think it deserves all of it and then some. But yeah, you guys let me know what you thought of Train Dreams down in the comments below. Is it one of your favorite movies of the year, or was it too slow for you? I don't know. Beyond that, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more reviews like this one. Now, I mentioned I was going to do another review on Thanksgiving or the day after, and yes, that finally is my thoughts on Chloe Zhao's Hamnet. Can't wait to talk about that one. Been dying to actually sit down and review it since I saw it a couple months ago. But rest assured, that will be the next review and video on this channel. So stay tuned for that and so much more. And I hope you all had a very lovely Thanksgiving dinner, evening, what have you. Whenever this drops, please enjoy yourselves and the time with your family. And I will talk to you guys very soon.